A Kentucky man almost had his organs removed while he was still alive. And if you think that is astonishing, we have learned that he is not the only one.
WDRB Investigates reporter Valerie Chin digs into the federal investigation and explains the changes that are expected to happen to organ donation.
Because in my heart of hearts, I knew TJ was in there. I knew he was alive.
We never want another experience like this as well.
If the patient's dying, but they take the patient's organs before they die, that's euthanasia.
The case of a Richmond, Kentucky man, TJ Hoover, getting the attention of Congress.
We had lost our mother 4 months prior, and TJ took it really hard. He suffered a drug overdose.
Donna Rohrer has become the voice for her younger brother, who overdosed in 2021. He was rushed to Baptist Health Richmond and had on his driver's license he was an organ donor.
We were told he was brain dead, that there wasn't, reflexes or anything happening there.
Here is Hoover's paperwork, a declared brain-dead patient being maintained for harvesting of organs.
The cardiologist made note that it sure seemed like purposeful movement because TJ was grabbing at the doctor because of the pain, that he was in. He was given paralytics and sedatives for them to finish the procedure. And then his honor walk was at 5 o'clock.
And during that walk seen here, Rohrer had questioned her brother's eyes looking around, tracking movements, but was told that was just reflexes.
How far were they into the procedure before they stopped it?
He was shaved and prepped, and it was about 45 minutes in. The physician called 3 of us back and said, "He's not ready." He woke up.
And what was your reaction?
My reaction was, I was right.
WDRB Investigates went through the Health Resources and Services Administration investigation. The HERSA report found issues with patient-family interactions, issues with medical assessments and healthcare teams interactions, issues with recognition of high neurological function. This document says HERSA has become aware of clinical practices at Kentucky organ donor affiliates known as CODA. Records provided to HERSA show potentially serious and ongoing risk to patients and families. CODA merged with Network for Hope in 2024. The federal contractor serves 4 states: Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, and West Virginia.
In a rush to get the organs, many of the providers are saying that this is putting pressure on them to certify death when in fact the person may be even moving.
The investigation said hospital staff noted how active and aware Hoover was. While patient was on the table, patient purposeful movement to pain, trying to grab while MD was gaining access. Patient eyes open and tracking, thrashing on the bed. The report says hospital staff was uncomfortable with the amount of reflexes patient is exhibiting and said this was euthanasia.
What does he say to you that makes you think he still remembers some of it?
Why did they want to kill me? That's a pretty bold statement.
A federal investigation examined more than 350 of the Louisville-based company's cases. The study found about 70 patients had neurological problems that made them unfit for organ donation. Officials say 28 cases involved patients who may not have been dead at the time the organ donation process began.
So I'd like to begin by expressing my apologies for the care that was delivered to your constituents, to the people of Kentucky. It's unacceptable.
It is clear that the report's allegations and contents are serious and alarming. We are in the process of expeditiously reviewing the issues cited in the report and addressing the concerns raised therein.
Network for Hope CEO Barry Massa talked about successful transplant stories during this congressional hearing, but also talked about Hoover's case.
If you recall, in 2021, we were in the midst of COVID. And I think that impacted the communication that we had within between our hospital and our team. And while I'm not using that as an excuse, I do think it added to the complexity of it.
A December 2022 case. His eyes were watering and he began to move around. The report says the organ recovery attempt was allowed to continue to the 90-minute mark. This was uncomfortable for the nurse involved because a patient had no idea what was going on, but was becoming more aware by the minute. That patient ended up dying 3 days later.
I think there's got to be some accountability.
How do you think they should be held accountable?
I think they should lose their license. If it's happened 30% of the time in Kentucky, something's bad wrong.
Massa said that Network for Hope has put in additional safeguards. He said that includes nurses and attending physicians having a checklist so they know what their role is in particular donations.
A lot of people are organ donors, so this makes them question, should they be an organ donor?
Right. I mean, it should make anybody question. And I don't think that, I don't necessarily think people should run and not be organ donors, but I think it should definitely change how people respond.
Baptist Health Richmond issued this statement about Hoover, saying it's thankful that the patient's condition improved, leading to the appropriate decision not to proceed with removal of life support, which was discussed with the family. Baptist Health Richmond is committed to looking for ways to enhance communication and education to ensure that organ donation is a safe decision for patients and their families.
Don't stop fighting. If it's happened in your family, don't be afraid.
Valerie Chin, WDRB News.
And Network for Hope says its leadership is out of town this week. The organization is hoping to schedule an interview with WDRB next week.